Hi, I'm Joelle Wellington. I'm the author of Their Vicious Games, The Blonde Dies First, and Girls Who Play Dead, and I'm going word for word with Simon Teen. Their Vicious Games. Every plan means nothing now, because the Remingtons have their own plans. I will die, or I will be a Remington. Every accomplishment I could ever have, any future, even if by some miracle I win, would always be second to being Mrs. Remington. Not Adina Walker. I wouldn't be regaining what's mine because I wouldn't even be me. Not that that's even a possibility, because every girl would kill to be a Remington, except me. I can't be here. I'm leaving. This is why they took our phones, Saint reminds me, edge creeping into her voice again, her hands slowly clench into fists. This is the first real finish since social media was created. They're in control now. We can't leave unless they let us. This is illegal, I say. They are the Remingtons, Hawthorne says. They own this town, this state, all of New England. Nothing is illegal for them. Suddenly, Graham's words ring true. I hope you and that soul survive this, he'd said. He knew. He knew all about this, and he didn't warn me. None of them warned me. I'm alone here. This is a nightmare. I'm going to die, I realize. Hawthorne shrugs once. Maybe. Maybe not. It's different now. What's so different? There are more girls from outside the usual circle, more variables. There's you, Hawthorne says, but that doesn't reassure me. It just drives in the point again that Pierce didn't invite me here to save me. He invited me to end me. It's a new era, a new game. Get ready to play. So this section is when Adina Walker, the main character of this book, realizes that she's in the finish. The finish is this competition that I conceived off of the idea of finishing school. I'm a former Reformed theater kid, and when I saw Rent, I remember Mrs. Porter's finishing school. And so that was like top of mind when I was conceptualizing this book, that really I wanted it to be kind of a satire, but also a horror about young women becoming coming of age and what opportunities are offered to them and how that is often through the lens and power of another man. And so the finish was this idea I came up with where at the end of finishing or whatever, you would become this new person, but that person belonged to someone else. And Adina's entire journey is about navigating that space and this very narrow space in between becoming someone that belongs to someone else and taking part in this homogenous society, or getting what she really wants, and whether what she wants is what she actually wants, if that makes sense. So yeah, the blonde dies first. I dismissed the tightness in Malachi's shoulders, the way Yaya had clutched her rosary, and Gael's warnings. I'd ignored the way Layla was swaying, almost hiding behind the others when she was not the type to hide, all because I wanted to be down. I wanted to show Drew and her friends that I was cool, that I could be cool with all their weird shit. And look where it led us, here. With a demon haunting us and Drew still not on my side. Throwing blame won't solve anything, Yaya says, forever the sensible one. She sits up and I immediately miss the weight of her arm around me. There were other people there, though. Why did it attack us? I ask, why me? Gael shrugs. Drew co-signed it, and Devin, you're the one who let it in. The stark reminder of my own words makes me freeze up. Come to me. So Alexis's death really is my fault. It's all my fault. Gael continues, ignorant of my thundering train of thought. Also, well, Devin, you're blonde. I startle, stopping my spiral. What? Gael's grin is positively wolfish. Come on, Devin. The blonde dies first. This moment takes place right after the main character, Devin's annoying coworker, who is blonde, dies outside of the bodega that they work in a really weird freak accident where a demon thing is chasing them out of the freezer. And after she is confronted again by said demon, when she goes to a bar underage, which you shouldn't do, with her friend Malachi, and they all of her friends meet up at another friend's home, and they realize that they are being hunted by this demon, and it resembles freakishly this really bad horror movie that they all saw last summer called Read Your Rights. And in that moment, their movie-obsessed friend, Gael, realizes that they are being hunted in slasher killer order by a demon. And the one who's being hunted first is Devin, who happens to be blonde. This is so crazy. Do you know the movie Scooby-Doo, like the live action? Yeah. In my brain, that's what the demon looks like. Because I was like, I'm not afraid of a lot of things, right? Which is why I write horror. Which is also why I have to have someone else read my horror and thrillers, because I'm not thrilled by anything and I'm not scared of anything. So I was thinking about what was the scariest thing I could think of that from when I was a kid, and it was those gross little CGI demons from the Scooby-Doo movie. And I like the whole time I was writing, I was like, you were so scared when Daphne got possessed because she was your favorite. So yes, that is what the demon in this looks like. Girls who play dead. But here in the dream, the tire swing is still there, and so is someone else. Erin is sitting in it cross-legged somehow, her ass hanging through the hole in the middle. She holds the rope, and without moving her lips, she calls in a watery voice, "Duck, come push me." Erin has always called Kyla Duck ever since preschool, when Erin didn't quite understand how Duck, Duck, Goose worked, and that she couldn't always be Goose, and Kyla couldn't be the only duck. Kyla slowly approaches Erin and pushes the tire swing, kick-starting the swinging motion, which with each swoop through the air, the wind picks up, but only Erin's hair, the ends tinged with aqua, whips around. The space around Kyla is utterly still. She trains her gaze between Erin's shoulder blades as Erin says, "Duck, I'm dead." "I know, Erin," Kyla whispers. "No, I've been dying for a long time." "How?" Kyla asks, slowly, and then all at once. That's the way poison works. It was all poison. "How do I know this isn't one of your games? I'd never play dead with you." Kyla wakes up. So Kyla is dreaming. I don't know if you got that, but Kyla is dreaming about her dead best friend, Erin. Erin Vaughn dies before the start of the novel, and everything is kickstarted by this moment. Her grief, her cruel streak, and the return of her beloved but estranged older brother, Mickey. And so at this point in the novel, Mickey is still trying to make sense of who Kyla is. He doesn't really recognize her, as he doesn't really know who she is outside of the context of their home. He didn't go to school with her for most of high school. And while he is finding his own niche and realizing that Prophet's Lake, the place that they are from, has changed in some ways, I think Kyla is a demonstration of how it hasn't, and how she feels really stuck by this grief. And that's understandable when her best friend died, I think about 2 weeks prior to this moment. So she hasn't had long, maybe 3 weeks, because the funeral was 2 weeks ago in this book. I think so. You know, it was hard to figure out the calendar for this. I don't know. So yeah, horror is my first love. Growing up, I loved to be scared until I couldn't be scared anymore. Like, I remember the first horror film I ever watched was Scream. Wes Craven is one of my heroes, and I thanked him in my acknowledgments of The Blonde Dies First, because I learned a lot about meta storytelling from his work. And yeah, I just loved being scared growing up. And then I also feel like horror encouraged a lot of questions in me. So the way my parents raised me was that I was allowed to read whatever I wanted as long as I asked questions and I felt capable of asking those questions, and they would never lie to me. And so I felt that horror was very much a representation of the way that they raised me, and that horror asks a lot of questions and it doesn't lie to you about the answers. Even if it's all told through metaphor, it holds up a mirror to society in a lot of ways, and it's very truthful even when you don't really want it to be. So I really love the genre. It is very much a comfort for me. My writing inspiration and my process has changed a lot. I used to be very, very strict with myself. Like, I had to, and I still am in some ways, I need to know how the book is going to end before I start it. And I'm very strict about getting to the ending. I don't change my endings. Like, we get there. But how we get there always shifts a lot. It didn't used to be that way. I used to be a lot more rigid, where I felt like I had to stick to the script. And now I'm less so about that. I also used to write really linear, where I had to do chapter by chapter. I don't do that anymore. If I get bored by a chapter, I'm like, something's not working here, which means I need to skip forward and figure out what's working there, and then I can move backwards. And I think that helps a lot during the drafting process, because then by the time I get to revision, I know the story in and out because I've not worked on it in order. So I know exactly where to go. And in terms of my inspiration, I feel like for each book, I could probably pick one filmmaker or author that really inspired me when doing that. So the first, Their Vicious Games, was really inspired by Radio Silence, and Ready or Not, and The Bachelor, which I love The Bachelor. I love reality television. It is my guilty pleasure. Not guilty pleasure. It is just a pleasure. And then The Bond Dice Verse, very much inspired by Wes Craven and all of his works, not just Scream. And then Girls Who Play Dead is very much inspired by David Lynch, who is my favorite filmmaker of all time. And I hope I did the suburban gothic justice.